evening and welcome to the Hendrick Hudson Board of Education meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, May 15, 2018. Can we please stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order of business is to have our tenure reception, which we finished. Are you going to?
Introduce Matthew.
Okay. All right. So can I please have a motion to accept our agenda? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I please have a motion to accept our consent agenda? Second. All in favor? We have, I believe, our donations. And I believe everything tonight to do with the donations is for Blue Mountain Middle School. I don't have it. Oh, very nice, thank you. Luckily, I do know it. There are a number of items that were donated to Blue Mountain Middle School. A math license, 2 treadmills, 2 pottery wheels, and 3 cameras. Thank you very much. Very good Vice President over here. And thank you so much to Blue Mountain PTA for their very generous donations. We really appreciate that, and I'm sure it will help our students tremendously. So can I please have a motion to accept the donations? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now we're up to the superintendent's report.
So I'm going to make a couple announcements and then invite up Dr. Swerdloff to begin our recognition. We are in the high school cafeteria today, and if you look to the west, where now the sun is shining, we could have used that for the last couple hours. The high school cafeteria windows are decorated by a project led by the high school PTA to celebrate, recognize, acceptance, and tolerance week. So they came in and did this work, and they did a lot of really cool activities around teacher recognition. So if you're wondering who was putting the graffiti up on the cafeteria windows, it actually was a group of adults, and that's a good thing. Other things that are happening around this time of year, AP exams. We had a number of exams today. We had a little stress regarding the weather, but we got all the afternoon AP exams in before the weather rolled in. It is spring concert season. Make sure you check out our website and watch all of the kids as little as 4th grade up until 12th grade performing throughout the district. Orchestra, chorus, band, jazz, everyone will be performing over the next 6 weeks. And that also means our athletic seasons are wrapping up and sectional play is going to begin shortly. With that, I'll bring up Dr. Matthew Swerdloff to start our tenure recognition.
Good evening, everybody. I want to say a special welcome to the families, especially the little children that are here tonight. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Usually the board meetings are not so well attended, so it's nice to see so many people, even though you have a very narrow agenda. I want to say thank you to Claire Carey for hosting us this evening in the cafeteria. Food and beverage. And also thank you to Fran Nadaro for putting together So for those of you that are not educators, you may be wondering what this range tenure thing is. It's pretty unusual in the world. Those of you that are educators that have worked in the private sector, you really get it. Tenure is a commitment from our school district to you as an employee. It's a commitment where we tell you that we've sort of tried you out for 3 or 4 years, and you've measured up to our standards, and we appreciate you as an educator, and that we value you, and we want you to stick around for your career. So it's a very unusual thing, you know. It's really specifically to education, and it's a special thing, and that's why we take this time to honor folks who are getting tenure, and to say thank you to them, and to welcome them permanently to the Henry Hudson family. We also know that it's a two-way commitment, and while tenure offers many protections to the employee and guarantees certain safeguards, it also it's by no means a sort of a blank check. We know that people will live up to the expectations that we hold for them. So, big congratulations to all of you. The way we're going to run this tonight is I'm going to call up people in small little groups, and someone's going to speak about each of them, and then we have a little gift for them. So we're going to start. Maria, I'm going to call you after the TAMA folks. Don't forget. So we're going to start with Mara Lepore and Michelle O'Neill from Blue Mountain Middle School. If you want to come up. And I will say that Elizabeth Doyle, Amelia Kaufman, and Mercedes Lammer couldn't be here tonight, so big congratulations to them. Mara and Michelle, I've known you both for a while, but honestly I don't know you that well. I do get to work with a lot of people. I do know how hard you guys work. I do know how you put the needs of our students first and foremost, and how you're committed to educate the whole child. I was reading what you each wrote in the program, and it's really touching, it's really moving how you both sort of embody the mission of the district in terms of thinking about the whole child and being here for the whole community. So I really appreciate what you bring. We all appreciate what you bring to the district, and thank you for your service, and we welcome you and look forward to another X years. Congratulations. So we started a tradition last year, which I know everybody loved, where you get to walk.
Shake the board.
No change stuff. There you go.
It's like the gauntlet.
This is the Charles Thompson
Memorial Walk.
So happy. Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Michelle. So we're going to bring up Jean and Margaret next. Jean is Margaret White, who's our Assistant Director of Pupil Personnel Services, and Margaret Weller, Dr. Margaret Weller, who is our Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Lisa and Laura come up. So we try to mix this up a little bit rather than listening to me the whole evening. Lisa is going to say a few words about working with Jean. Lisa is the Executive Director of PBS and works very closely with Jean, and has some comments from Beth, who's a guidance counselor at the middle school, to share.
All right, so Matthew told me to be brief, but it's so for speech. I'm sorry, Matthew.
Too late.
Okay. Jean. All right. Anyone who has had the pleasure of knowing and working with Jean can attest to the fact that Jean is a thoughtful and intelligent colleague. She cares about students first and foremost, but also the staff that she works with and supports. Jean, referred lovingly by staff as Jeannie CSE, and by students as Miss G. She runs CSE meetings like a ringmaster at Barnum and Bailey's. Though no one's getting fired up at Camden, she's often helping parties involved to carefully walk the tightrope of special education law. A CSE meeting run by Jean is a well-organized sequence of events. She gently keeps everyone focused on the goal at hand, the student. while ensuring that all voices are heard and validated. And the rest of my speech did not load on Google Drive. I had some really nice quotes from Jean. But basically, I've had the pleasure of working with Jean for the last 3 years. And Jean and I came from similar backgrounds. We both came from New York City, and we found our home here at Hinderpus and became sailors almost at the same time together. Jean has come and brought insight, thoughtfulness. She's always questioning and thinking and reflecting and trying to support everyone that's around her. Some of the feedback I got from the staff who work directly with her day by day is that she's helped them become a better teacher through her reflection and guidance that she's given them. Or she's made them be a better educator for the support she's provided. She handles day by day with grace, and it's been very impressive to be sitting in one of her meetings or just sitting just one-on-one with her and having real intellectual conversations. Jean's thoughtful, she's smart, she's a researcher, and she really cares about the students. So even when she comes to the high school, she's not just here for a meeting, she makes sure she goes to the classroom, she sees the kids, and she follows up with the students. So we're very lucky to have Jean. Shout out to Jean. As a fellow working mom, this sometimes can be a tough job to challenge when we're at home and here. And so her beautiful 2 daughters are here, Sloan and Tess, and her husband Greg. So thank you for letting us have Jean here.
So I have been fortunate enough to work with Jean for the last few months, and I go home every day and say, Jean has taught me something new. So we seem to work together and teach each other something new every day, and it's amazing. She's an amazing colleague, she's a great thinker, she's a great collaborator. But I'm here actually to speak on behalf of the middle school. So Ms. Gagne was going to speak tonight, however, she had another commitment. She stayed as late as she could. So I'm going to quickly just read a few things, not everything she did, because I was told to be brief. As Assistant Director of Pupil Personnel Services, Jean wears many hats. It's very clear to everyone who interacts with her in whatever capacity that her #1 goal is to do what's best for students and parents. Her genuine approach and caring attitude always shines so bright. When you sit in one of her meetings, she will always come up with a variety of suggestions about what to do and how to help. If a student is involved in the meeting, she will take however much time is needed to get to know the student and make them as comfortable as possible. Jean's priority is to get to know them as a person and as a learner. In some cases, she'll even follow up with a student by tracking them down and surprising them with a special treat or book. She helps to give them the tools and strategies to help overcome obstacles and to help them believe in themselves and support their successes. Ms. Gagne asked some staff members to share some words about Jean. Here's what they had to say. Jean has a great sense of humor. She's down to earth, approachable, always supportive, and willing to listen to concerns. A great sounding board to discuss new ideas. Her door is always open, whether it be for discussion of a student or just a big hello. Jean always has a smile on her face and has an innate ability to read my feelings, Ms. Gagne's feelings, and just a very calming voice to put the concerns out of perspective. She makes spending time with her fun. She goes out of her way to seek out her staff, like Valentine's Day visits to our classroom with candy hearts, staff developments that include projects like making our own family loves, mindfulness that I don't like, and conveying us in hearts and felt words and how much she values our dedication to our students. Tonight I'd like to say that Jean is a wonderful resource for staff, parents, students, and colleagues. You always make her day, so thank you for being you and for always making us laugh, being a role model, and making us to strive to do our best. Our district is blessed to have you, and I thank you for thank your family for sharing you with us.
Come to the walk.
So much.
Dr. Margaret Roller is our next recipient of tenure. And Margaret came to us in the fall or spring of 2015. And she came to us at a really tough time in public education. Two words that we don't hear that much about anymore, but back then we heard a lot, called the Common Core. And every school district across the state, but in particular school districts in Westchester County, that we had really positive results. Schools were achieving, kids were doing great things, but this was a one-size-fit-all state and federal approach to reforming public education. Margaret came at a time when teaching and learning standards were not that popular with staff or with parents, but she was able to meander some very tough waters with engaging our staff with how we could do things differently, educating our parents on what the expectations are of 21st century learners, and educating the board and our administrative team on how we could press different levers with the change in curriculum, change in assessment, change in how we teach, to make school a little more meaningful for our kids. She started an initiative that is something I've never seen done from a district office level. She started this residency program, and she does give credit to one of her colleagues for lifting it from them. But the residency program is where she literally moved her office to all 5 of our schools for a very significant period of time. All of her meetings took place in those schools. She tried to eliminate the amount of time that I bothered her or Matthew or anyone else. But she completely immersed herself in the school climate and culture so that she never lost touch with what our staff and what our kids experience each and every day. And it didn't take long for teachers who first were skeptical of what's the new person doing here, for that conversation to shift into a conversation and environment around collaboration, around inviting Margaret into the classroom, asking her to come and weigh in on different instructional strategies that teachers were trying. It really changed how we approach teaching and learning in our district from a support standpoint rather than from a mandate standpoint. She's initiated programs including reforming our summer school model, as well as building outstanding opportunities for our kids to learn in hands-on ways in STEM fields and the arts throughout the summer. She is a talented and wonderful addition to our staff, and we're very, very fortunate to have her with us. Dr. Spurlock is going to say
Laura will take over. Highway on.
So I just want to say a few things about Dr. Roller. Getting to know Margaret here, as Joe just said, a lot of what we've experienced here, but having someone who's a mentor and a colleague, someone who has engaged in real conversations and is not afraid to lift things up and look at it from a different angle and challenge the status quo. So I really respect all that you've done in the past few years and look forward to everything else that you have to bring to us. And I owe a lot of my personal reading right now, professionally, and personally to Dr. Roller. Similar reading habits.
So I'll just share a lot has been said about Dr. Roller on a professional level. I'll just share that for me it's been such a pleasure working with you so closely these last few years. It's been great to be challenged on a professional level in terms of initiatives that Margaret wants to bring to the district and says to me, let's talk about this. Can you get this to work? And I'm like, okay, I was just going to relax, but fine. So it's really been, she's an utmost professional. She is extremely knowledgeable about her field, and it's been a pleasure to be able to work with you. Congratulations. So we would like to bring up Dr. Heather Wynn and Marie Manor. So I'm going to speak about Dr. Wynn a little bit, and then Marie's going to say a few words. So, look at that smile. That says it all, right? She just brings an energy and a joy to her work and to school and children that just really, it's hard to be miserable about. So, and she's so knowledgeable and so committed and so motivated. Anytime there's something extra happening in the school, she's got a part in it. So we really appreciate your commitment to the teaching and the students and how you go above and beyond. Dr. Wynn is the first school psychologist to be instruction technology coach, which is, we might say, an odd combination, but she pulls it off. She does a lot of training for her staff, and she's always taking initiatives in the areas of instruction technology as well as in her own field. So it's really my pleasure to congratulate you. And Marie Manor, who is the co-president of the HATA, is going to speak a little bit about all our tenure recipients.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And just a little personal note about Heather. She has been running our Nice Sit food drive for the past 3 years. So she took that on as a non-tenured teacher, which is very admirable, and I'm so proud of her for doing that. Every year we collect food for the food bank in Westchester. That just gives you a little insight as to what her character is like. So I'm really very proud of her. So on behalf of the members of the Hendrick Hudson Education Association, it's my privilege and honor to congratulate such an accomplished group of professionals and to welcome all of you to the status of tenured staff in the Hendrick Hudson School District. In addition to our school psychologist, Heather Wynn, I'd also like to congratulate our teacher assistants for receiving tenure and our two administrators, Jean Kismerovic-White and Margaret Muller. We know that you have worked long and hard to achieve this milestone in your career in education. I applaud you for your dedication and your perseverance in pursuit of this goal. I would also like to acknowledge your families this evening, because it does take a village, for their support and encouragement throughout this long process. In granting tenure to you, the Board of Education has entrusted you with a tremendous responsibility for the education of our students of the Hendrick Hudson School District. The Board of Education, the district building administrators, and the members of the HenHud Education Association look forward to providing support, assistance, and encouragement to you throughout your career in the school district. Your achievement is well deserved. Congratulations to you and your families on this very special occasion.
Jen Tate would like to speak a few words.
So what I can say about Heather is that she's a girl who cannot say no, but only in the best ways possible. She came to Hendrick Hudson School District as our psychologist, but quickly rolled up her sleeves, and I think there is not a committee that she's not on. She is on technology coach. She's on our CERT safety team. She's a Sunshine Committee person. She does RTI and CSE chairs. She has social skills groups during her lunch with the children. She's done bully prevention. She does PBIS, which is a, what's a good word? Positive behavior, thank you. And she's on leadership for our building. But she has gone above and beyond that and made herself part of the community. She is a mentor. She's created a mentor program for our students at BV, where teachers are paired up and monitors and aides are paired up with students in need of a mentor. She's coordinated breakfast and lunch, and then encourages the mentors to meet with their mentees throughout the school year. She does the food drive, which Marie mentioned, and she, at holiday times, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever it is, or if it's family needs, she's always collecting food, money, clothing, whatever the families need, she's on top of that. And she also organizes the camp scholarships for students in need of a scholarship for camp. So she is a champion in our eyes, and she is a gift to the district, and we love having her, and we're so happy she's part of our family.
got to do the walk.
Hello, how are you? Hi, Carol, how are
We're together.
We're together.
So that concludes the tenure portion of the board meeting. I know Joe wants to speak to you really quick before we leave, but I just want to say again thank you to the teachers and staff members that came out to support your colleagues. Thank you to the husbands and wives and partners and children and fathers and mothers. And have a good evening.
I have two public service announcements before the board wraps up with their business with a couple of student recognitions. One is make sure you take a lot of food to go before you leave. And if you haven't voted, there's a vote taking place over at Frank G until 9 o'clock. And I want everyone to know, because we posted this on our website and social media, we understand that trains were suspended out of New York City. A lot of power is out portions of our district, and all of those things combined did not give us authorization from the Westchester County Board of Elections to extend polling hours. So if you haven't voted, I'm being serious, make sure you vote, because they'll close at 9 o'clock. Even the conditions that we're experiencing will not allow us to extend voting hours. So there's your public service announcement. Grab some carbs. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, moving along with our agenda. Next, we have committee reports. Does anybody have any committee reports that they present? Well, I would just like to take this time. I would like to take this time to thank Mr. Hochreiter and all the board members who have gone out numerous times into the community to speak about the bond and the budget. And I really appreciate all the time that was spent doing that, so thank you very much. Next, we have audience comments.
Any audience comments? Okay.
Good, because I have to remind you of what you can or cannot speak about, so I'm happy we don't have to go through that tonight. Next, we have our first presentation.
Yes, we have some of our future business leaders of America with us. So coming down the aisle is Nina Togliru, Maggie Bernstein, and Jack Briggy, and their teacher, mentor, and advisor, Mrs. Jen Dressitz. So they are here to talk about a little bit about FBLA, what it is. But there was a very important statewide competition a couple weeks ago, and a number of our students did so well that they have the opportunity to move on if they weren't going to Japan. And they'll tell you about that later. But there is a PowerPoint slide, so we'll trust you that we believe what's on there because we can't see it.
We will tell you all about it.
Awesome.
So I am Meg Janschitz. I am the advisor for future business leaders here at Henry Hudson High School, so thank you so much for letting me come here and letting us come to talk to you about this. As an educator, one of the things that I care most about, and one of the goals I set for myself, is to make sure that when I teach in the classroom, is a outside of the classroom, and that goal is achieved every single year. The past 8 years I've been doing FBLA because my members are able to show real life experiences within the club and with the leadership abilities they do. So what we do with FBLA is we have a group of members that are dedicated and so hardworking, and they're going to spend a little bit of time today telling you about what FBLA is about, as well as how it's made a positive impact on themselves and in their school career. So we have Maggie Bernstein, Jack Briggy, and Nina Tagliabue here to talk to you.
Hi, I'm Nina Tagliabue. So first, we'd just like to introduce you to what FBLA is. FBLA is the largest student business career organization in the United States, and its mission is to help students prepare for their future careers, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be in business. How it works is there's a local level, so that would be our chapter at the school. There's a district level. We are in a district with Lakeland High School, Mamaroneck, Mount Vernon, and John Jay Cross River. There's a state level, so we are members of New York State FBLA, and then there's also the national level, which we are members of. As members, we are given opportunities regarding leadership, community service, networking, competitive events, and workshops at the district, state, and national level.
As Nina touched on earlier, FBLA is a massive organization with over 250,000 members nationwide, of which over 5,000 come from the state of New York. In April, we attended the State Leadership Conference in Binghamton, New York, where over 800 participants competed in business activities, of which 250 qualified for nationals. In order to qualify for nationals, you have to place in the top 4 of your competitions. And then at nationals, we will be competing against 10,000 other students from across the country. This year, they'll be in Baltimore, Maryland.
So to hone in more on what our school specifically has done, you can't see it, but there's a timeline up on the screen of our progress since 2015 to now. So in 2015, for example, we had 4 events that qualified for nationals from states, and we had 1 district level officer. And now in 2018, we had a past state officer, that's me, I was a state reporter. Nina has just been recently elected as the state historian. We have 7 events qualifying for nationals. We came 3rd place in a statewide competition that involved collecting cans for charity. And we had 2 district officers this year. So we've clearly come a long way in the past 4 years. And on a more personal level for me, FBLA has been definitely the most impactful extracurricular that I've been a part of. I had immediately got involved my freshman year because one of my close friends told me to join, and I just joined on a whim. I didn't really know what it was about, and now after having served as a state officer, I'm completely immersed in FBLA, and it's been really rewarding just getting career tips and networking advice, and I made a lot of really good friends there too.
I've also been a member as a freshman, and I've been able to serve on local and district and now state offices, and I've placed in various events and competed at the National Leadership Conference. And I definitely think FBLA has enabled me to mature more. I've improved my public speaking and learned how to better communicate with others, and I've met people from all over the state and country. And I look forward to the future as a state officer, and at state officer training this summer, I'll be able to plan the outline for all the events that members will partake in the following year.
Unlike Nina and Maggie, I joined this year, and Maggie has encouraged me to join for the last 4 years, but I finally came this year and couldn't be more happy that I did. FBLA has just been an incredible opportunity. I've met so many new people, and I've really broadened my horizons, and it sort of just changed the way that I've perceived myself and my future. For example, I thought I wanted to do engineering. Now, after doing FBLA, I decided I want to do something in the business field, so it's really just an incredible opportunity.
So first of all, in closing, I just want to thank everyone for all the opportunities we've been given at the school. Mr. Macken has been such a great leader and such a great cheerleader for FBLA, so thank you. Thank you to Mr. Hochreiter for being also a supporter of this, Mr. Catalan over the years for helping, and we were given, PTSA has given us an $800 grant to be able to send 4 students to nationals this year, which is going to cover our conference fees. Which is really, really a great thing because it helps my students know how they are well received within this district. If you know any people that might be good for this club, we're always taking new members, whether they are freshmen or seniors. We'd love to have them in the club, so that's also next year in the fall. We'd love to see them at our recruitment events. So that's it for us. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, let's keep, we're going to keep everyone up there for a minute, though. Go ahead, Jim.
I just want to congratulate everyone. FBLA over the last 4 years has really raised its game, and it has a large, it's all due to the leadership of Maggie and Ms. Jankersons. I mean, they really raised the bar and made it a club, kind of a destination place that people want to go and be a part of. This is what's great about education. You know, when something works really well, and doesn't always work easily to get here. But I think when you take a great educator that has an understanding of how important experiential learning is, and you take her caring and nurturing that she, the care that she takes with her students, and then you take some really smart kids too, and that's something that adds to it. But it really works well. So this has all to do with them, and makes it easy for us to say yes. I just think it's really important as a district that we recognize as things get budgets are discussed and things get tight. We have to remember the impact that these clubs have for our students outside the classroom. If they're just going to learn inside the classroom and not have opportunities to learn experientially, we're really missing the boat. So I think they're able to put all the things that they've had experience over the years in the classrooms, things that they experienced with Ms. J, and then we kicked butt. I mean, at the state level, I'm sorry, we went there and crushed people. And I'm saying it, don't make it on print that or videotape that, but we did really well. And I'm very proud that I love when that happens. So good job, and thank you for supporting the FBLA. Thank
So, let's have everyone come down for a handshake. Jack, this was your mother's idea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love the history and I that's
All right. We now would like to welcome up Tom Baker, our athletic director. This is the season of recognitions and end-of-year wrap-ups and all those good things. So Tom is here to give us a rundown on our student athletes and some of their successes as we close out the 2017-18 school year and athletic season.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me here tonight. It's been a very exciting spring. It's been a very successful spring season for us. As of right now, we have our softball team, our baseball team, and our girls lacrosse team have all won league championships. Boys lacrosse was rained out today, so they will play tomorrow, where they can secure a league championship as well. That'll be our fourth team in the spring if they win the league. On a much bigger scale, we head into our sectionals, which will start this weekend. Baseball team will probably end up as the number 1 or 2 seed heading into the sectionals. Our boys lacrosse team could be a 1 or 2 seed. Our girls lacrosse will be a top 4 seed, and our softball team as well will be seeded fairly high. So it's been a very successful year. Since our winter season has ended, we've had some I'll say unique accolades for our student athletes, and I wanted to have an opportunity to share some of them. Some that you may not hear or read about all the time, but I wanted to, some of the kids we've had. Zoe Stacks was a senior volleyball player for us. Earlier in the year, Zoe won the Con Ed Award. So now, just recently, she's invited to the Con Ed end of the year dinner, which will be Wednesday, June 6th. So it'll be there with as one of 36 athletes in all of Westchester County, and I'll say student athletes. It's a very nice night, so she gets honored that night again. Mackenzie Porter is a senior girls lacrosse player for us. Recently, Mackenzie was the News 12 Athlete of the Week. She was featured on News 12. They came in, they did a nice feature on her and her student athlete abilities, and we got some nice PR there for our district. Carolyn Kochek is a senior girls swimmer. Just last week, Carolyn was informed that she was one of the recipients for the Westchester County Swim Officials Scholarship. So she was just awarded that just last week. So that was a nice award for her, taking in academics and her ability as a swimmer. This past fall, Carolyn represented us at the state competition up at Ithaca College. Samantha Aronson is a senior cheerleader. At the end of the winter season at the Westchester County Championships, Samantha was one of only 2 recipients that night amongst dozens of teams that won the Annette Veronich Westchester County Cheer Scholarship. So she's one of only 2 that won it that night. Natalie McIntyre is another senior cheerleader. She was one of 5 cheerleaders in the entire section that was awarded a Westchester Putnam Rockland Duchess cheerleading scholarship. I had the privilege to go to that dinner with her and see her accept that award, which was a very nice honor for her as well. Last week, Ashley Loopy, senior softball player, became our 3rd senior student athlete to sign a national letter of intent. She'll be playing softball at Georgian Court University in Lakewood, New Jersey. So she joins Austin Frazier and Mackenzie Porter as our student athletes that sign letters of intent for the next level of play. Taylor Prokopiak, senior multi-sport athlete, but at the end of the basketball season, she was awarded the Isabel Costa Award in all of girls basketball Section 1, which goes for academics and their abilities as a player, but it's an academic-based award. And then recently, at the end of our ice hockey season, Brett Hansen was voted the MVP of the Section 1 League 3 Ice Hockey League. So we had a lot of unique opportunities that kids took advantage of, and were recognized by not only some of the of our own coaches, but by coaches of our neighboring school districts, peer athletic directors, peer administrators. It was just very nice for Hendrick Hudson to be recognized like that for our student athletes.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your support.
Well, thank you for all of the offerings that you afford to our students. We sincerely appreciate it.
And let's hope we're celebrating another milestone in 42 minutes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have a motion to approve the Westchester Putnam School Board Association budget. We have dues that we pay into the organization every year. And for next year, the dues are staying exactly the same. There's no increase. And it's a very good budget. So I don't know if everybody had a chance to read through this, but can I please have a motion to accept their budget as presented? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Next, we have one of our own school board members, Lisa Anderson, who is being nominated to join the board of directors for Westchester Putnam School Board Association. Lisa has been our representative to that organization since she joined the board, and we're very, very happy and we're hopeful that she is approved for nomination to tonight's motion. And then again at the dinner, which is at the Kittle House on May 31st, hopefully that will go through and she will join the board of directors for Westchester Putnam School Board Association, which is a very nice honor for her and for our school district.
Yeah, it would be really beneficial to have one of our board members represent our interests there. One of the neat things about the Westchester Putnam School Board Association is they represent some of the very specific interests beyond what the New York State school boards can represent. For example, West Putt was a big driver in helping craft or redesign some of the APPR legislation. They've helped us in terms of school aid and school funding because schools in Westchester County oftentimes receive such little state aid compared to our counterparts in the rest of the state. So they take on very specific issues to our region that oftentimes don't get the attention of NYSSBA. So this is a great opportunity for us to have a voice at that board level.
And they also provide training for our new Board of Education members and meetings, which is so important. They're constantly offering different programs for all of the board members, so we thank them. So with that being said, can I please have a motion to accept the slate of officers and members of the Board of Directors for Westchester Putnam School Board Association, 2018-2019. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That being said, we are now up to our last audience comments. Okay.
But before we adjourn, I failed to mention one important event in my superintendent's report that is happening tomorrow. It is the annual valedictorian and salutatorian dinner. And our valedictorian has been announced. It's Danielle Smith and our salutatorian Melody Munitz. So we will be having dinner with them tomorrow night with about 100, almost 200 of their counterparts from the Lower Hudson Valley region at the Doubletree in Tarrytown. So it's always a nice event to recognize valedictorians and salutatorians throughout the region.
And Mrs. Briggy will be there with
And
you.
Mrs. Briggy will be chaperoning the children. She'll be attending as a representative of the board.
Thank you. With that being said, can we please have a motion to adjourn the meeting so that we may go over to Francie Lindsay? Second?
Second.
All in favor?